She let him ruin me. It's strange, looking back now, how normal everything felt before it all began. That's the part that still gets me, the calm before the storm. You never expect the people closest to you to be the ones holding the knife. Especially not the person you loved most. Her name was Alina. She had this quiet fire about her, not loud or showy, but the kind that made you want to lean in closer when she spoke. We met during our second year at university. I was studying computer engineering. She was doing communications. It started simple. Shared classes, group projects, coffee breaks that turned into all-nighters talking about life, about our parents, our dreams. She told me she'd been hurt before. That guys always treated her like a stepping stone, a phase, never someone to stay with. I told her I wasn't like that. I wasn't. For 2 years, she became the center of my world. My schedule revolved around hers. I gave her everything I had, not just time or money. I gave her belief, loyalty, my softness. And for most of that time, I thought she gave the same back. But there were signs. Little cracks. You only see them in hindsight, like puzzle pieces that don't click until the whole image is already ruined. Her phone used to be open around me. Then one day it wasn't. She used to talk to me about her day in detail. Then it became vague, filtered. She had this friend, Dima, a guy from her faculty. He was tall, lean, always had this cocky smile. The first time she introduced us, he shook my hand and didn't even look at me, just kept staring at her. And she laughed at his jokes the way she stopped laughing at mine. I asked her once, half joking, "You and Dima ever had a thing?" She rolled her eyes and said, "God, no. He's just a friend. Don't be that guy, okay?" So I nodded, because I trusted her. Because being that guy meant I was insecure, paranoid, and I didn't want to be that. But just friends don't text until 2 a.m. or delete messages, or cancel plans with their boyfriend to study with someone else. The shift was slow, almost imperceptible, like a temperature drop before a storm. She started finding flaws in everything I did. My jokes weren't funny anymore. My compliments felt like obligations to her. Sex became robotic. Her eyes didn't light up around me the way they used to. I kept thinking it was me. Maybe I was too clingy, too predictable. Maybe she needed space. I asked her if she was okay. She said she was tired, that I was smothering her, that I didn't trust her. Ironic, in retrospect. Then came the night I'll never forget. It was a Friday. She told me she was going out with her girls, some wine bar near the river. I offered to drop her off, but she declined. Said she was already meeting up with them somewhere closer. Kissed me quickly and left. Her dress was tighter than usual. Hair curled. That perfume she only wore on special occasions. Something didn't sit right. I waited 2 hours. My gut wouldn't let me relax. So I did the one thing I swore I'd never do. I opened her laptop. Not proud of it, but I needed to know. Her messenger was open, and so was her recent search history. Hotel Belaruskia. Booking confirmation. My chest tightened. I clicked the chat with Dima. It was full of deleted messages. But the last one stayed. Room's ready. I'll be there by 10. Bring that wine you mentioned. My ears rang. The kind of ringing where everything feels far away and close at the same time. Like you're drowning. I didn't cry. Not at first. I just sat there, frozen, laptop glowing in the dark like a spotlight on my humiliation. I could have confronted her that night. Stormed into the hotel. Made a scene. But something in me died then. The man who trusted her. Who defended her to his friends. Who looked the other way when she started to slip. Instead, I waited. I waited for her to come home. To lie to my face. And she did. She came in around 1 a.m., smelling like wine and guilt. I asked her how the night was. She smiled, said it was fun. That they bar hopped. That she was a little drunk, but okay. I looked at her, really looked, and said nothing. Just nodded. For the next week, I acted normal. Played dumb. But inside, I was tearing apart. Every kiss felt like poison. Every touch a betrayal. I knew I had to end it, but I didn't know how. I wasn't ready to let go. Not yet. So I started digging. I needed the full truth. The messages. The photos. The recordings. I wanted to see it all. To feel every cut. Every lie. Maybe then I could finally burn the last piece of love I had left for her. And what I found was worse than anything I imagined. She hadn't just cheated. She had been mocking me. There was a group chat. Her and 2 other girls from her program. Screenshots of our conversations. My long messages, my apologies, my efforts, all laughed at. She thinks I don't know he checked my laptop face with years of joy. He's acting all sweet lately. Guilty conscience? or just weak? Then Dima chimed in. When's he out of town again? Missed that bed. And she replied, next week. I'll tell him I'm sick or something. Can't wait, smiling face with horns. I stared at that screen for hours. There was no ambiguity, no way to spin it. She wasn't confused. She wasn't drunk. She wanted this. She planned it. Repeatedly. And she enjoyed playing me. That's when something in me snapped. I knew I couldn't just walk away. Not quietly. Not after everything. If she wanted to play games, I was going to finish it. My way. I couldn't sleep that night. No matter how tightly I pulled the blanket around me or how many times I tried distracting myself with music, my mind kept replaying that moment, her fingers around his arm, the playful nudge. Her laugh echoing in my memory like a haunting reminder of what I refused to believe. I texted her again that morning. Just a simple, "Are we okay?" left on read. For 5 hours. Then, finally, a message. "Can we talk later? I'm just super tired. Last night was a lot." What did she mean by a lot? A lot of what? A lot of him? I waited all day. I barely touched my food. I sat by my phone like I was in middle school again, hoping she'd care enough to show up. At 7:43 p.m., she finally called. I picked up immediately. "Hey," I said, trying to sound calm. "You okay?" She sighed. "Yeah, I'm okay. I don't know, last night brought up a lot." "Like what?" Another long pause. "I think we've been a little off lately." There it was. I swallowed. "What do you mean?" I think we need to figure out what we both want." "Where is this coming from?" My voice cracked. "Is this about Liam?" "No," she snapped, then quickly softened. "I mean, not exactly. But seeing him again made me realize how much I've changed. How much we've changed." I felt like I was being dissected, dismantled piece by piece while she stood there, calm, calculated, hiding 1,000 things behind every vague word. "Are you saying you want to break up?" "I'm saying maybe we need space." I didn't even fight it. I couldn't. My chest felt hollow. Then she said something that shattered me even deeper. "He's going through a rough time right now, and I want to be there for him. But it's just friendship, okay?" Friendship. The same word she used when she first told me about Liam. The same word I now hated more than anything. And so began the slow unraveling. I felt a cold rush spread through my body, as if someone had just thrown a bucket of ice water on me. I didn't know what to say. The words I had practiced in my head for hours, the ones I thought would make sense, the ones that would make her see how much this was hurting me, they all seemed to dissolve in my mouth. "Are you serious?" I whispered, almost unable to believe the words coming out of my mouth. "I know it's a lot to take in, but I think it's the best thing for both of us right now," she said, her voice distant. "We've been stuck in this cycle, and maybe we need some time apart to figure things out." Time apart. The words hit me like a punch in the gut. I had always feared this, the moment when our connection would break. But now that it was here, I wasn't sure I was ready to let it all go. "I don't want you to do this," I said, my voice cracking. I could feel my heart racing in my chest. "I don't want us to be over." "Please understand," she said softly, but the softness only made it worse. "This isn't about you. It's about me, and about what I need." I swallowed hard, the lump in my throat almost choking me. "What do you need, exactly? To figure out whatever this thing is with Liam? To see if you can fix it with him?" "Don't put it like that," she snapped, but then her tone softened again. "I'm not saying it's him, but I can't keep pretending everything's fine when I don't know what I want." The silence between us grew louder with each passing second. I wanted to scream, but instead, I just stood there, my phone pressed to my ear, struggling to breathe. "Please, don't do this," I repeated, though it felt pointless now. "I don't want to hurt you," she said quietly. I need time. I need to figure things out for myself." By spending time with him? I could hear the bitterness creeping into my voice. "Please don't make this harder," she said, and I could hear the faintest hint of frustration in her words. I didn't respond. What was there left to say? The person I had trusted the most, the one I thought would always be there, was now telling me that I wasn't enough, that I wasn't what she needed. "I guess I'll talk to you later," she said, her voice almost flat now. And with that, she hung up. I stood there in the middle of my room, the phone still in my hand, trying to grasp what had just happened. It felt like I was in a daze, but the reality of her words kept crashing into me over and over again. She needed space, and I was losing her. I didn't know what to do. But I knew one thing for sure, I couldn't stand the thought of her with him. Even if she said it was just friendship, I knew what it meant. She had gone back to him, and now I was just nothing. I sat there, the weight of everything sinking into me like a heavy, suffocating blanket. I could feel my breath shallow, my hands trembling as I gripped the phone in my hand, almost hoping that somehow the conversation hadn't happened, that it was all a terrible, twisted dream. But it wasn't a dream. It was real. She had chosen him. In the end, it wasn't me she wanted. I got up and paced around the room, trying to shake off the anger, the confusion, the hurt that had gripped me so tightly. Every step felt like I was walking through mud, the heaviness in my chest making it hard to breathe. It wasn't supposed to end like this. What did she mean by time? Was it just a fancy way of saying she wanted to be with him again? Maybe she thought I wouldn't find out. Maybe she thought I'd be okay with it. But I wasn't okay with it. Not at all. My mind raced, replaying every moment of our relationship. All those little things she had said, the moments of affection, the times we laughed and held each other like we were invincible. I thought we had something solid. But now, it was clear to me. I had been the fool. I reached for my jacket, almost as if I was looking for something to do to distract myself. Anything to avoid thinking about her. But I couldn't stop. The thought of her with him, laughing with him, touching him like she had touched me, it was like a physical pain in my chest. And I hated myself for feeling this way. I hated that she had this power over me. But I couldn't stop it. The worst part was knowing that deep down, I had seen the signs all along. The subtle distance that had been creeping between us. The way her attention seemed to shift whenever Liam was around. I had ignored it, convinced myself it was just my insecurities. But now I knew the truth. I wasn't imagining things. I was just another pawn in her world. I needed answers. And even though I knew confronting her would only hurt more, I couldn't help myself. I had to know the truth, and I had to say it to her face. I grabbed my keys, storming out of the apartment without thinking twice. I didn't even know where I was going at first, but my feet led me to the one place I knew she'd be, Liam's. I knocked on his door, my heart hammering in my chest. It felt like my whole world was shaking, and I could feel the anger boiling inside me. The door swung open, and there he stood, his usual smirk quickly fading when he saw the look on my face. "What do you want?" he asked, his tone guarded. I didn't waste time. "I want to know what the hell is going on. With you and her." He stiffened, his jaw tightening, but he didn't answer. I stepped closer, my voice low but demanding. "Don't play stupid with me. I know what you're doing. You're back with her, aren't you?" His eyes flickered, and for a moment, I saw something there: guilt? Confusion? But then he cleared his throat, putting on that cocky demeanor. "It's none of your business." "Bullshit," I snapped. "She's my business. She was my girlfriend, and now she's..." "Don't do this," he cut me off, stepping back slightly, his hands held up in mock surrender. "She's not yours anymore. And to be honest, I didn't think you'd care this much. You seemed pretty fine with her going on about her own life." The words stung more than I wanted to admit, but I wasn't backing down. "Not now. Not after everything. I'm not going to just let you walk all over me," I said, my voice shaking with the weight of the truth I didn't want to accept. "And neither is she. You don't get to take her from me." He rolled his eyes, clearly unfazed. "You're not her priority anymore. Maybe you should just get used to that." My chest felt tight. The finality in his words cut deeper than I'd ever imagined. But I wasn't done yet. "You really think I'm just going to let you have her without a fight?" I shot back, fist clenched. "I'm not looking for a fight," he said, stepping back. "But if you're smart, you'll just walk away. It's over." I could feel the heat rise in my chest, rage swirling inside me, but there was something else too. A painful acceptance. This was the moment I had feared. The moment where I had to let go. "Fine," I spat, my voice bitter. "You can have her." The words felt like acid on my tongue, and I knew I would regret saying them for the rest of my life. But what else could I say? I turned and walked away, my heart shattering with every step. The rest of the night was a blur. I don't even know how I made it back to my apartment. But when I walked through the door, it hit me. She had made her choice. And there was nothing left for me but the pain. I sat there, numb, my mind spiraling into darkness. What had I been to her? Had I ever truly been enough? Or was I just a placeholder until Liam finally came back into the picture? Tears burned in my eyes, but I refused to let them fall. Maybe tomorrow would be different. Maybe it wouldn't hurt this much. Maybe someday, I'd be able to forget her and this pain she had left behind. But for now, all I could do was sit in the wreckage of what used to be.